everyone, and welcome back to the IEDNC series, Dietetic Journey in Canada. My name is Ashley Wong, and I'm a dietitian at Dietitians Network of Canada, which is an organization that was founded to help and empower dietitians from other countries to become registered dietitians in Canada. Internationally educated dietitians often face many challenges when they immigrate to Canada, and this is why the IEDNC was created. It is a tool that can be used to become more familiar with Canadian regulations in workplaces, provide online courses for continuing education, and offer resources such as webinars, courses, case studies, volunteer opportunities, and more. Throughout this series, we will be meeting dietitians from different countries around the world and learning all about their journey to becoming a registered dietitian in Canada. All right, let's get started. So today we have invited Radhika to share her experience. So welcome, Radhika. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me today. Yeah.
So can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from?
I'm Radhika, and basically I work here with the Credit Valley Family Health team as a certified dietetic educator and registered dietitian. I come from India, and that's a brief background about myself. Yeah.
Were you?
Did you want to,
oh, sorry, it froze for a second.
Did you want to know anything more, or was that good enough?
Yeah. So when did you move to Canada?
So I moved here in 2014.
Okay. And were you a dietitian in India?
So yeah, I was a dietitian in India. That was way back in 95. And then I worked for a very brief, maybe for a brief 6 months. Then I got married. I moved to the Middle East. And then I was rearing my children and everything. And I was off work for almost like 12 years.
Oh, wow.
And then, yeah, so then I've started work back again in the Middle East. So I started back working in Qatar. That's where I was working before I came into Canada. So I was working there for about 7 years before I came into Canada. Yeah.
And were you working as a dietitian there?
Yeah. So the way it works there is I started as an assistant dietitian. So since I didn't have any work experience for a long time, and then I just, over a period of time, if you worked as an assistant dietitian for 2 years, then you gradually graduate to become a registered dietitian. So I was working in a multidisciplinary hospital for about 4 years. And just before I came here, I got into another hospital called Hamad Medical Hospital, where I was working as a cardiac rehab dietitian before I came into Canada. Yes.
Okay. Wow. That's awesome. And when you moved to Canada, how did you learn about the process of becoming a dietitian here?
So when I came in, I was planning to come into Canada in 2014 because it was time for my kids to move. My son had to do his undergrad here. He was also going to move, and I'd already planned that I wanted to work as a registered dietitian here. Mm-hmm. So I did my prep work a year before I came into Canada. I had already applied to the CDO to evaluate my educational status, and I'd applied to WES, got all my scores and everything. And yeah, so I wanted to be a registered dietitian, and that's what I am today. Mm-hmm. But of course, it was not easy.
Yeah, well, it's good that you started early, preparing like before you moved here. Did you have to take any courses or anything, or do any tests or anything when you got here?
Yeah, so CDO had responded saying that I had to do 2 courses, and they also wanted me to do a 6 months internship. So they gave me an option that I could do that on my own, or I could take up a program called IDPP, which was International Dietitians Pre-Registration Program, which doesn't exist anymore. Okay. I think, I'm not sure what they offer. They offer a program in Ryerson University. I think it's not as easy as it was when I came. So I joined, and the IDPP was a 16 months program. where it was like a bridging program, and they were basically preparing us to get to do the registration exam, as well as they also provided us the opportunity of doing internships, which was great.
Yeah. So did you find like dietetic practice different in Canada compared to in Qatar?
Um, yes and no. The reason being, the hospital where I was working, they followed the American standards. So the cardiac rehab program was basically adapted on American standards. So standards wise, I would say they were doing pretty much almost the same as they were doing here. But the only thing that I found was it was more detailed oriented here, and a lot of critical thinking, self-assessments, self-analysis, and above all, you had to report to a body, which wasn't the case back in Qatar. So that was the difference I found. Yeah.
Okay. So while you were doing the courses and the internship, were you working at all in Canada?
No, fortunate enough, my husband also quit his job. We all came in as a family. And he picked up and we were prepared that even if he didn't have a job for a year, we were okay with it. And I wasn't able to multitask at all, because I felt it was quite tough doing the program because I had a long break. I'd never studied for a long time, so it was a long break. Yeah, so I didn't.
I bet. Okay, so that's good that you were prepared for that. So when you wrote you had to write the CDRE, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. How was that how did you find it?
So it was almost 2-3 months of preparation, or even before. IDPP prepared us very well, which was nice.
Good.
But unfortunately, just before I was about to write my first exam, I felt very sick, but I didn't have enough time to cancel my exam. So I just gave my exam and I knew I wouldn't clear it. So I had to rewrite it the second time a couple of months later. Of course, I did clear it the second time, but it was pretty hard for me because I wasn't doing so well at that time. Yeah.
Were there any topics that you weren't really familiar with?
The competencies was something that was very new to me. I see depth. So I had to kind of find out, what are these competencies? How do you meet them? So we had a lot of rigor back in the courses I did. So it helped me that way, but still, now that I'm working, I understand it better than when I was doing. And I probably felt like some more preparation from the competency side would have helped me much better to do my examination and everything well.
Yeah, definitely. That would help. So after you passed your exam, did you have any troubles finding a job?
I'm very, very grateful to Nutrition Wise. You won't believe that I passed my exam and the next month I got into Nutrition Wise. So that was a super awesome pedestal for me. And I worked with Nutrition for Wise for almost 2 years, and it's been the best working experience for me. And from there, I think they gave me the freedom to do what I wanted, and I built my contacts, and that helped me to move to where I am now. So I didn't have much of a trouble. I don't know whether it's the same for everybody, but for me, no.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. And when you were preparing for the CDRE, did you find there were any resources or anything specific that helped you with that?
But for the IDPP program, I did. I think if somebody comes into Canada and have to write the CDRE exam, I think it's not easy. I think you do need resource. That one helped me. The IDPP helped me. They gave us the resources, and they told us how to prepare for the exams, and that was the purpose of the program, right? So yeah.
Okay. And when you moved to Canada, did you expect it to take like 2 years to become a dietitian, or did you think it would be a little bit of a quicker process?
No, I knew my program was 16 months, the IDPP. So I expected I expected I would finish it not less than 2 years. Yes, I was prepared for it, but I didn't know it's going to be that difficult. Yeah, they did tell us, but I didn't know, so that way, yes. But yeah, I was prepared for 2 years. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything that you wish you had like done differently, or anything, any resources that you would have had to help you?
Definitely the competencies. I feel that would have, like I mentioned to you earlier, I felt that if I understood what are the things to expect from the program, what is it that I have to prepare ahead of time for my exams, and maybe even the concept of multiple choice is very, very new to us. Not in the sense that I have done multiple choice, but most of our examination back home is in the written format, and it's not the multiple choice format. So I do feel preparing from that areas would definitely help. And I would do that part of it. I would have done it differently. And I was super stressed, which I wouldn't, if I think back, I shouldn't have been so super stressed. I would have done much better if I wasn't.
Yeah, I know it's a tough situation.
Yeah.
And are you familiar with IEDNC?
Yes, I think through the interviews and other things, but I think they're doing a great job because you provide resources for new dietitians, upcoming dietitians, which is a great resource. I haven't gone through it much, but then I know it's a wonderful resource.
Yeah, a lot of people find it really helpful.
Yeah.
I guess I have one last question for you. Do you have any tips or any advice for dietitians who are planning to come to Canada or are already in Canada and are going through a similar journey as you?
So the one thing I would tell is if you wanted to be a registered dietitian in Canada, just persevere and make sure you become one. The journey may be tough, but never give up. And as much as possible, try preparing ahead of time before you come in. So you're not shocked or you are able to go through the whole process. That's all I would like to tell my co-workers or dietitians. Yeah.
Great advice. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you, Radhika, for sharing your journey with us. I'd just like to say that many international dietitians share similar experiences and struggles that Radhika went through, and it's challenging coming to a new country and not knowing where to start. And that's why the IEDNC was created, to help you expand your knowledge and provide you with everything you need to learn the ins and outs of Canadian dietetics all in one spot. IEDNC can be your guide throughout your own dietetic journey. Be sure to visit our website for more details and an IEDNC for more details about an IEDNC membership. And if you have any questions, feel free to request an appointment and an IEDNC representative will be happy to help you. That's all I have for you guys today. Thanks everybody for watching our Dietetic Journey in Canada series, and I'll see you in the next episode.